Going on, YouTube? It's about that time again. Now we're going to tune in to Let's Tell the Truth, and we're going to listen to episode 100 on Let's Tell the Truth. The reason why Malcolm X got assassinated. Before we get this started, I would like to say thank you for tuning in to Let's Tell the Truth. Let's give me a feedback about this. Like and subscribe to this. Hit the thumbs up, you agree. Hit the thumbs down, you disagree. Hit the notification bell when you stay notified about this. And you can follow me on Instagram on Real Talk 100. So let's get this started. Now, in the early 1925, when he was born, about Malcolm X's mama and Malcolm X's daddy he was a pastor. He got killed by the Ku Klux Klan in 1931 because they wanted his daddy to get out of that city, and they was threatening his daddy by burning the cross. They threw a cross. I believe they threw a cross in front of his house and burned down his church. Now, mind you not, Malcolm X had a white mama, and they didn't like the idea that he was going with this woman by she was white, and they had family together. And when they walking up down the street, people used to look at them differently because back in the early 1920s and the late 1920s and the early 1930s, jungle fever is supposed to happen back in those days. So it was a lot of prejudice going on with the daddy. So when they killed his daddy in 1931, that's when Malcolm X about 6-7 years old, they had to go stay in foster home. So he had to stay in the foster home, and the social worker came over there. Remember the movie that when the social worker came over there and wants to take the kid from the mama, they went to different type of foster homes. So when Malcolm X was like 20, 21 years old, when he got grown, he started going out he was a hustler out in the street, him and his friend. So when him and his friend go out there and start hustling, they was doing all types of dirt. Like they get high, they smoking weed, drink, going to these different taverns. That's around in the early 40s. So when Malcolm had different women, including this woman was white. One of the women he had dated was white. And he had met her at the ballroom, at the dance hall. So him and his partner, they go out there and messing with different women. So when they went, they did a whole lot of break-ins. And when they start breaking up in people's houses, stealing jewelry and stuff like that, the minute he had got arrested around I think 1944, 1945, when he got arrested and was sentenced to 10 years for racketeering. And not only that, they wasn't going to lock him up. They wasn't locking him up. They locked him up. In reality, it was supposed to be sleeping with white women. The white women never got a sentence. The white women, when they never went to jail. They did. So he was sentenced to 10 years. It was a 10-year sentence. Now, he met this one guy, and they was talking about Nation Islam in prison. When he was talking about Nation Islam in prison, That's when he changed after he got out. Now, I believe that I believe that they was talking. He had told him about the do's and the don'ts was really going on into the circle. So they invite him to the circle, but he told him he never knew about the affair. Hit the like button. He never told him about the affair. So when Malcolm X got out of prison, he got out of prison to meet with Elijah Muhammad. Not Elijah Muhammad. Yeah, Elijah Muhammad. So he met him. And that's when he started preaching the word. So he go out there passing out flyers in the middle of Harlem, to passing out flyers and teaching and speaking the word of Allah and the Nation of Islam and everything. It went to a small group, and then we got to a larger group because they went on 125th Street in Harlem just to teach the word. And when they started teaching the word inside the ballroom, whatnot, that's when everything was good, cool, everything was good steadily until when I think Louis Farrakhan's son, I think his son, brother, somebody like that, not Louis Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad's son. I'm sorry. They was in prison. I believe he went and seen him in prison and taught him the word. Now back in the days, when Malcolm called himself Red, back then, somebody tried to kill him long time ago. When you see the movie that those people was after him and they was trying to kill him over some money going on. It was over money back then. Now, let me give you another example. Now, Malcolm was teaching the word, went to these different universities, taught the word at one of these universities and stuff like that. He went to New York University to teach was talking to the whites. The white people the white students was at the school at the New York University. Now, this is where he messed up at. When he went to the news and talked about the affair. When he talked about the affair, now this is what things took a dark turn for Malcolm. Some people said he should talk. Some people said that he should never say nothing about the affair. Some people said he had the right to talk about the affair. Now back then, when Malcolm went and talked to Farrakhan's, not Elijah Muhammad's son, he talked to Elijah Muhammad's son, and Elijah Muhammad's son told him that he was messing with 15-year-old secretary, messing with a 15-year-old secretary, and he was having babies by different women, but these women was young. And then they talk about Solomon had 1,000 wives. Solomon had younger kids, not young kids. Solomon had younger women, younger under 20, 18 years old. He was getting them pregnant. This is the same thing. Remember the movie Malcolm X, when Malcolm went over to this woman's house with the two babies, with the two kids, and she was pregnant with the third one. He went over there and they was talking. She said these kids was Elijah Muhammad's kids, and he was the father of the baby that when she was pregnant, he was the father of that baby right there too when she was pregnant by. So she had 3 kids by him. at the young age. And they said he had another woman, and he had got another woman pregnant, and she was about 15 or 16 years old. Hit the like button. Now, Malcolm X got on television. Let me tell you right now, he got on television. He went and got on television not once, not twice, numerous of times. He got on ABC. He got on ABC. There's a speech about the Nation of Islam, about the police situation. He was talking about the police brutality and all this stuff, and talking about how blacks have been mistreated and everything like that. Like the firefighters put water hose on the blacks or whatever. Around now, when he got on television the second time, the third time, whatever, he got on television, and then that's when he talked about Elijah Muhammad was sleeping with the 15-year-old woman. He was sick. He got scared, and him and Farrakhan watched him on television saying all this. So now they pissed off at him. They pissed off at Malcolm. And now this is what everything. So now this is what everything made a dark U-turn. Now I believe that Farrakhan went and had made teams with the police, with the CIA. And I don't know how true that is. He had the CIA following Malcolm X. Malcolm X went out the country. He went and visited Morocco, Afghanistan, Iraq, um, um, England, which is England, the Europe area. The Europe area. He visited Europe. He visited Ireland. He visited Africa, South Africa. He went to India. He teaches the word with everybody all over the Middle East. When he came back, and they was following him, and Malcolm X been gone out the United States by some days. He been gone about a couple of months, if I'm mistaken. When they went out there, they was following him and taking pictures with him got off the plane, because he went to Egypt first. They got out the plane, and he went there to Egypt, and they was taking pictures. They was watching him. How the CIA know he's going out the country, I don't know on that part. But they was plotting to kill him when he got back to New York. You see that? They was by Malcolm going out of town, out the country, Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan plotting to get him killed. They was going to set a bomb in his car. And they was threatening to blow up his house by throwing a cocktail bomb in his house. That's what they was trying to do. So the hitman, it was 4 hitmen. It was 4 people. They had got a code that he got from them to get your hand out of my pocket. That was the code. So they was all planned to kill Malcolm X a long time ago. I believe they was planning to kill him they set up the plot around probably 1961, 1962. But I say, oh my God, I don't think. I believe it was 1964, in 1964, 1963. So they've been planning to kill him for a long time. Because remember, when they set his house on fire a week before he got killed in the ballroom, and that's February 21st of 1965. February 21st, 1965. That's when they killed him. Now, once upon a time, I believe Farrakhan was behind it, Elijah Muhammad was behind it, and the government, and I believe the government's behind all this too. Because they was calling his phone. Now, when you look at the movie, when they kept calling Malcolm X's phone, threatening to kill him, and calling the house phone when his wife picked up, they was threatening, telling her to tell your something like that, like I'm gonna do something to him or kill him, and it was, and then, but it didn't happen that way. His wife and kids went to her family's house, because some of the movie on Malcolm X is not true. It's just showing you what because the directors don't know all the way how it went down versus real life. Hit the like button. How many news reporters, the press, that he said this to, besides one of them? Did he ever mention this to ABC? Did he mention this to these news stations? But he told one. And all it takes is one to everybody to know. Now I'm gonna ask you another question. Who else he told this to? Did he told his wife about the affair? I believe he was talking to his wife, and he told his wife about the affair. I'm gonna ask you another question. What did Malcolm X really meet the son in prison? Because remember, the son was started out being a Muslim. He started out being a Muslim, right? He met him, and he got into the Muslim because prison helped him. Let me ask you another question. Did Farrakhan told Malcolm X about the rules and regulations, or did he never told him? You think about that. And then I'm gonna ask you one more question. How many affairs did Elijah Muhammad had? If he did have those affairs, did he have about many women? Did he was talking to many women? That's another question right there. Now, when Malcolm X got us killed, they shot him. I think they shot him over 20 times. And when that sawed-off shotgun, one of them had a sawed-off shotgun, that killed him right there. And then when all those police went in there and started walking around, you knew what y'all was doing. You knew y'all knew what y'all was doing. You people knew exactly what y'all was doing. Y'all knew what was all going to happen that day of February 21st. You knew it, and it was the same day. I believe this is why the riots had happened, because of that. And it's the same year JFK got killed. See, when it comes to you, let me tell you, United States always been secretive. People always be secretive, and they don't want to tell you the truth. They always been traumatized and manipulated people that this ain't the real answer. But when they do it, they'll say, "Oh, is this just a spur of the moment?" Nuh-uh. I see what you did. You know what you did. That's why all them people got killed, because the truth. The truth sends so many people out this world. It's a shame. Because of power and knowledge. They don't want to see a black man with this type of knowledge that Malcolm X had. So the government had to figure out to get him out of here. Hit the like button. Now, he knew what really happened. He knew what they was going to come and get him. They knew they was going to come and get him. And when they said something about this, because he ain't nothing, because he was a revolutionary and a black nationalist leader that does family disruptions, background, all this stuff. Now, if throughout the 1964 of his conflict of the Nation Islam, I believe that they sent the hit out there. I believe they made friends with the police. The guy that killed Malcolm X ended up doing 20 years, but he denied ever had got involved into the hit. And they finally let him out of prison around I think 1994. I'm not sure, but it was in the mid 90s when they let one of the guys out. Now let me see, I think it was 2019, one the hitman died. I don't know if I'm true this is one of the people that killed Malcolm X passed away around, I believe it was 2019. Now, and then when people criticize it, he told the truth. Malcolm X died because he told the truth. The real truth, nothing but the truth about Elijah Muhammad's affairs with these different women and getting them pregnant. That got him sick. Because he feel like because Elijah Muhammad felt like if this been exposed out, his people would turn on him. Everybody would turn on Elijah Muhammad if everybody would have found out about his affair with a 15-year-old. And now, in 1973, Elijah Muhammad passed away. He passed away. I don't know where he died from, but he had passed away in 1973. Now, Louis Farrakhan's still standing. He gonna get his day too, because he helped cover it and he didn't feel no type of remorse of his actions, what he did to Malcolm X, because Malcolm X went and spoke the damn truth about this affair. And people still don't like it, as today. Right now, if he'd have passed away today, tomorrow, next year, whatever, they would be happy, because you helped those people plotting the murder of Malcolm X because you told the damn truth. He spit the real truth. He had thousands and thousands and thousands of people believing him. Thousands of them. 1,000. It was people wanting to join in Nation Islam at the time around that time. He had people wanting to join because he told the truth. See, these are the people died because of the truth. Malcolm X, number one. Dr. Martin Luther King, JFK, his brother Robert F. Kennedy, and Charlie Kirk. And Charlie Kirk was last because the government helped set all this plan up just because the truth eats these people alive. These people don't like to hear the truth because people want like to hide. Because they want to continue doing underhanded things and hiding things. You think when you thinking that when you think that people trying to tell you what really happened and what's going on, it happens. It happens because the truth will eat people alive. The truth will make them look stupid and they feel embarrassed. They feel embarrassed about what Malcolm X said about the affair with Elijah Muhammad. It could be more affairs out there. And said Solomon had 1,000 wives. See, when Muslims, now they said it was a rumor that Muslims believing to have one wife. They believe to have about 2 or 3 wives. Because they feel like God let Solomon had 1,000 wives. Now we talked about it there on my episode about those 1,000 wives. In the reality, he don't supposed to have those many women. Because in the Bible, thou should not commit adultery. In the reality. So they going by what another man said. They going by what another man. Solomon's not God. So they going by another person did. Oh, he have 1,000 wives. Why we cannot have 1,000 wives? And when Malcolm X went on and talked about the affair, they was plotting to kill him when he was going out the country. And the government made the CIA agents follow him to those countries. Yep. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this again. Those countries, it's been a while. It's been a while that those countries ever he visit. It's been a while that he left and been in those countries before he went back to New York. So he was fearing for his life when they set the cocktail bomb in his house. It'll happen in the middle of the night. He had to go to a motel. He had to look out his window every few minutes with an AR-15 in his hand. He had to get a gun because they was threatening his life. So let me tell you, if you ain't so sure about these affairs, look it up. If you ain't so sure that how many women Elijah Muhammad had, and I'm gonna say rest in peace to Malcolm X because he did the right thing. To my knowledge, he did was right thing because that don't supposed to happen. We supposed to be out there teaching the word. We supposed to be out there doing the right thing, not having affairs all these women, not having all these affairs. That's why that part that when Malcolm went over there to this woman's house, I think she had about 2 kids and 1 on the way. And think it's okay. But they wanted no hush hush. I believe his son told him that in prison, when he went to prison. When Malcolm X, I believe he went and visited Elijah Muhammad's son in prison. And that's when he told everything about the affair. How he know? Who knows? Who knows? Now, I'm going to tell you another question. Did Malcolm X been to all these countries and been watched? If so, how many countries he went to before he got back to New York City? Let me ask you another question. Malcolm X was repeatedly threatened. They've been threatening him from all through 1964. Now, in February, a leader of a Temple No. 7 ordered a bombing of Malcolm X's car. In March, Muhammad told Boston Minister Louis X, later asked the Louis Farrakhan, that the hypocrites like Malcolm should have their heads cut off. He called Malcolm X a hypocrite. You see that? Now, the April 10th edition, featuring a cartoon that spotted Malcolm X's bouncing server head. They showed the cartoon of him bouncing on certain people's head. See, they've been wanting him dead because of the affair. Now, on June 8th, the FBI surveillance recorded the telephone call, which is Betty Chavez was told that her husband was as good as dead. 4 days later, the FBI informant received that the tip that Malcolm X is going to be bumped off. Everything was on the phone call. Now, Betty Chavez was told that her husband was good as dead. Somebody told her that over the phone. So now, the same month that the nation sued to reclaim Malcolm X's residence at each Amherst, Queens, New York, his family was ordered to vacate, but February 14, 1965, the night before hearing the postponed eviction, the house got destroyed by fire. Now, when June 8th, FBI, now July 9th, Malcolm A. John Ali, suspected of being an undercover agent, referred by Malcolm X, saying anyone who opposite the Honorable Elijah Muhammad put their life in jeopardy. In December 4th issue, that Malcolm speaks, Louis X wrote that such a man in Malcolm is worthy of death. Now, Louis X didn't feel no remorse of his death, but they deny of having anything to do with his death, but he didn't feel no remorse. He didn't feel no remorse. So Malcolm X was born May 19, 1925 at the University Hospital of Omaha, Nebraska. He was the fourth of 7 children of Louis Little, born in Grenada, in reverses Earl Little, born in Reynolds, Georgia. Earl was an outspoken Baptist minister, and both he and Louis seemed to admire a Pan Africa Marcus Garvey. So Malcolm had 10 kids. He had 10 kids altogether. The youngest one, let me see. The youngest one, she the one supposed to threaten Farrakhan long time ago. One of the daughters wanted to do something to him, but she denied it. Now, Malcolm X later said that white violence killed 4 of his father's brothers due to the threat of the Ku Klux Klan that Earl unionized activities that said to spread trouble. Now, their father's brother, his father got killed by Klan. His 4 brothers got killed by Klan. Now, They said, now I'm gonna tell you, they said in 1931, when Malcolm was just 6 years old, his father Earl died unsuspectedly in that would have been officially ruled as a streetcar accident. His mother, Louise, believed Earl has been murdered by the Black Legion. Now, let me tell you something about the Black Legion. That's another white supremacist called the Black Legion. They said when they killed him in the streetcar. I said, now that part there was true. His mama, Malcolm X's mama, named Louise. Now they said he got killed in a streetcar accident, so they ruined it as an accident. But his mama, Malcolm X's mama, Louise, believed that Earl had got murdered by the Black Legion. Now the rumors that local members was responsible for his father's death. Now, remember, they was forced to flee to Milwaukee in 1926, and shortly thereafter to Lansing, Michigan. So in Lansing, Michigan, his parents were sued for the eviction for the newly purchased home due to a prevention of sales to white buyers, to a non-white buyer. So when they moved to Lansing, Michigan, they were sued. So that means the white landlord don't want them there. They was non-white. So they had sold the property to some black buyers. And next thing you know, they've been harassed by the Black Legion again, which is a white racial group that Earl later accused to burn down a family home in 1929. No fire truck and nothing didn't even come. No fire truck to battle the blaze. It was burnt up all the way to the ashes. No fire truck or nothing. Now, again, he expressed confident belief the question after the dispute of creditors, Louise received a life insurance benefit, normally $1,000, and about $21,000 in 1925. I mean, in 2025. $1,000 was prepared to $21,000 coming this year, 2025. Yep. So $1,000 was a lot of money back then. In payments of $18 a month. The issue of another large posse refused to pay, claiming that her husband, Earl, died by suicide. To make ends meet, Louise rented out part of her garden to her son's hunting game. So in doing the 1930s, the white Seventh-day Adventists witnessed that the Little family, later on Louise Little and her son Wilford, was baptized in a Seventh-day Adventist church. Malcolm said the Adventists were the friendly white people I ever seen. So they was nice. They was real friendly. So they welcomed everybody and welcomed in their arms. Now, in 1937, a man Louise has been dating, a marriage had things possibly vanished from her life when she became pregnant with his child. In the late 1938, she had a nervous breakdown and was committed to Kalamazoo State Hospital. The children were separated, sent to foster homes. Malcolm and his siblings secured her release 24 years later. So Malcolm attended West Junior High School in Lansing and then Mason High School in Lansing, Michigan, but left high school in 1941 before graduating. He expelled in junior high school but dropped out of high school after a white teacher told him that practitioner law, his inspiration at the time, was no realistic goal for a nigger. Later, Malcolm X recalled feelings that the white would offer him no place for a career or to Jack or to black men, regardless of talent. So The thing about it is that people need to learn the truth. People need to learn how to deal with the truth of people wants to criticize you, belittle you, and gaslight you, because the truth is the truth. This is why he go through these things. These the things he had went through throughout before he became Muslim. He because he remember these are the years that the Ku Klux Klan and the Black Legion, which is a hateful white group, they want them living there, don't want them around. So they've got to go from place to place to place to place. Everywhere they go, they get harassed. Hit the like button. So when when y'all go around here talking about and y'all want to be racist and all that, and everybody hate black people, I'm gonna tell you one thing: the Chinaman's been brainwashed, and the Mexicans been brainwashed, and every other country been brainwashed, and want every race to hate niggas, and they want to put niggas, they want to put all niggas in the below, and they higher and they better than them. That's not how it go. Now, this is the new generation. It's whatever now. The race needs to stop. They need to stop being a little kid, accept the fact that everybody's human. God creates everybody race. And this is what the stuff the devil does. The devil uses these people to hate each other. All God needs was love from everybody. The devil wants everybody to hate each other. This is why all this stuff happened. Why they hate blacks so much, we don't know. We don't know. But we're gonna go more details about this. So rest in peace to Malcolm X, rest in peace to JFK, rest in peace to RFK, rest in peace to Martin Luther King, and rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. Thank you for watching Let's Tell the Truth.